Hello and welcome to another video by Rick Miracle, me. This is a re-release of a video about this book, The Hidden Dangers of the Rainbow by Constance Cumbey, Part 2, that I made in August 2014. This is September 6, 2016, so just a little over 2 years ago. And I thought I'd put a new preface to this video, because I've learned more things since then. Supporting information, all this stuff seems to be coming together. I've gone over such videos recently. Technique of the Master. I'll be re-releasing these if they're not already posted. About how the initiates get to be trained in the Rosicrucian philosophy. Quite interesting. Part of the New Age. I've been looking at this book and others like it, Maitreya, the Cosmic Christ, the reappearance of the Christ, in this case by Alice Bailey. I've been showing this. Look at that little cross on there, it looks like blood. And this would have been the Lucius Publishing Company, which was formerly Lucifer Publishing Company. And this is part of the Theophist Society, Helena Blavatsky's philosophy, trying to unite all the religions in one, even what the Pope is calling for, the New Age religion, part of the Rainbow Coalition, including the New Age, which uses the rainbow as its symbol, and the Gay Agenda, which uses the rainbow as its symbol. And apparently the demonic devil god is androgynous, half man, half woman. And it has everything to do with what's going on in the world right now. Even that opening ceremony for that tunnel in Switzerland, with even the demonic being lowered from the sky with horns. And all the people dressed up in tight skin-clad clothing that looked like they were naked, groping and having some kind of pretended orgy, which freaked out the invited guests, like even President of Germany, Merkel, and other people, including the news reporters and such. This New Age. Then, of course, I've been going over this book, The Occult in the Third Reich. I keep talking about the occult, and I've been going over books about the occult. Everything from thought forms, spiritualism, karma, the New Age, Helena Blavatsky, ISIS Unveiled I've been going over. And, of course, the manual for the Freemasons, Scottish Rite, Morals and Dogma, written by this guy, Albert Pike, who wrote a letter to a friend of his, Mr. Mazzini, in Italy, detailing the 3 world wars that would be required to bring about the New World Order. So I made 100 videos. This is number 40. Like I said, I made a couple years ago. I'm re-releasing my videos, and I can see where I made a few mistakes, and I'm trying to correct them. But it's all right in this book as you watch this video and the pictures I show. The New Age and Prophecy. The rainbow. the Grammys, Emmys, Bet Awards, Super Bowl halftime shows. The satanic rituals go on and on and on. And recently, just to end this on a scary note, this video, like I said, this is September 2016. I'm re-releasing it and just putting a new preface on this video, because I'm learning as I go also. But I've been watching some of the Donald Trump speeches. It's a no-brainer to me that Hillary is a little off her rocker. If you watch the videos, and Larry Nichols talking to Lisa Haven and Alex Jones, and he was a handler for the Clintons, governor, president, and then he had to do some dastardly things for them, and he now tells all. He quit working for them. So the Clintons, to me, why would anybody want another Clinton for presidency? Look what she's done as Secretary of State. So we do have a weird reality going on, almost like the Twilight Zone. And we know that Syria has been under siege. Pentagon, NATO, the secret societies, the Illuminati, the banksters. And they use these mercenaries, guerrillas, people who take money, put on masks, and pretend to be Al-Qaeda, ISIS, maybe even Hamas. And so it's all meant to further eliminate, destroy all of the Arabs in the area of the Middle East. And it looks like there's even maps you can go look up on Yahoo image site of Greater Israel. Just key that in. Or Zionism in Palestine, and you'll see back in 1946, the whole map of Palestine was green, and a couple small dots were white, which was the land that was awarded to the Rothschilds to start the state of Israel. And from 46 to 96, and probably today they have it all. But anyways, the green Palestine, now there's only a couple little specks on the map, 60, 70 years later. And even Google recently in the news, true or false, it was in the news, took it upon itself to even take the name of Palestine off the map. So if you want to do a map search, there's no more Palestine. And Syria's been under siege, as I said, and all the craziness in the USA. Jade Helm last year putting troops all over the USA, posturing for some kind of attack on the United States people if they revolt or something. Preparation for something, no doubt about it. 450 million hollow point bullets, and I don't care what anybody says. There's no reason on planet Earth to be using hollow point bullets against people anywhere. Troops can fight troops, but I suspect this is going to be for what they call in Iraq, when they bombed Iraq to smithereens and some father came up out of the rubble pleading for some food and milk for his wife and children. Thus he was called an insurgent and machine gunned to death by the helicopters. So Iraq, Afghanistan, all made possible because of 9/11. And I've got the books here, as you can see. Read this book if you don't think 9/11 was an inside job. These books right behind me, I'll just show you. Right here, these two shelves, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 shelves are the 100 books reviews that I have done in this series, and this is number 40, re-release. I will be doing a book review 101, which will be a short talk about all 100 of these books. like a short synopsis. 3 years worth of work. So anyways, with all that said, one final note, very concerning. I've been watching the Donald Trump speeches in his campaign. They're live on YouTube if you want to watch them, even today. But he definitely says that he believes Iran is a threat trying to obtain nuclear weapons, and he plans to deal with it quite severely. Oh my God. So Hillary, to me, seems like really not qualified to be the President of the United States. And she has a serious anger issue. I don't even want to talk about the list of people who are now dead who worked for the Clintons, associated with the Clintons, and what Larry Nichols says to Lisa Haven, Alex Jones, and others on talk shows on the internet, YouTube videos you can watch. And Donald Trump, with his rhetoric on these presidential speeches he's doing, which seem kind of weird to me. You don't see in these speeches any people in the audience. It's almost like he says things and somebody's sitting there with a big dial turning up the applause and turning it down. Just right out of some of these weird movies. I've been watching several of them and I said, man, I don't think there's actually all those people there. I think it's a studio with a dial. Just my opinion. But he says he's going to go after Iran and kick all the immigrants out of the illegal immigrants out of the USA. They can't come into this country and come back until they first go home. And he's going to build a big fence, and he's talking a lot of things that are scaring a lot of people. But I notice in the speeches he's promising everybody everything. America great again. We're going to increase spending and more warplanes and more battalions of troops, and he's listening to the Heritage Foundation. Was it Hillary quoting and listening to the Heritage Foundation? So to me, it's all about the New World Order and New Age, and this rainbow, beware of the rainbow agenda is all part of the secret doctrine. ISIS unveiled by Helena Blavatsky. Karma, thought forms, all this crazy religion. Aleister Crowley, do as thou wilt. There isn't, you can do whatever you want. There's no such thing as sin. Killing is okay. But anyways, what really concerns me, watching Donald Trump, is I notice now that they have pretty much destroyed Syria. And I think that means Syria is not a threat. And they had to get rid of Iraq, Afghanistan, Egypt, Syria, and all those other countries that they took over, Tunisia. They had to take all those down before they went after Iran. So anyways, if you go in the news today, and yesterday, and probably next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week before, you're going to find out that they're demonizing Iran as if they're posturing to go after Iran. So if we get Donald Trump, we can, I guess we can assume we can believe what he's saying. If you want to go watch some of his current speeches, if it doesn't freak you out, plus this rhetoric in the media owned by the Illuminati, New World Orders, folks. Updated: Iranian boats harass another U.S. Navy patrol coastal ship in Persian Gulf. And this was published by the U.S. Navy Institute. Strange. A U.S. Navy patrol coastal ship was harassed when 7 Iranian vessels on Sunday narrowly avoided colliding with one in the latest of a string of incidents in the Persian Gulf. So we're right in the beginning of 60 days or less away from the presidential election here in the United States. And this stuff is way in the news. 7 Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps fast inshore attack craft approached USS Firebolt while it was operating in international waters in the Central Persian Gulf, September 4th, 2 days ago. So go look up this, and I did look at some of the comments made by people. This is what people think. I think we're in trouble. This guy says, this is a girl called Queen, one of the comments. After Oh Dummy, I guess she means Obama, gave these terrorist mullahs $1.7 billion, that's gratitude for you. So she's saying Obama gave them 1.7 trillion and now they're buzzing our warships with their ships. That's gratitude for you, she says. So you don't know if these comments are just like this articles in the U.S. Navy Institute website, if this is all propaganda to program us, which is what they're doing everywhere. You can't believe anything you read these days. That's why I do book reviews, so we can look at actual books and then use our own mind to try to find out what this new age, new one world order is all about. Anyways, another person here, Albert. Lots of many reactionaries is that it was their money, asset seized. So everybody's talking about the assets that were seized from Iran and Obama apparently giving them back their money. By the way, Obama, worst president ever by this person. Trump, 2016 it says here. It was seized for a reason, Troy says. It should never have been given back. And this other commenter says, and people wonder why they call us the Great Satan. You think we live in a bubble? There are never any consequences? Question mark. Troy says, you are an idiot. Do you know how many American businesses lost hundreds of millions to these people? I worked for one. It went belly up. They seized millions in computer equipment alone. Despite what you think you know, the educated in Iran want to be modern. I believe that. And the scum mullahs didn't then and now want to rule the religion as theocracy. And this new age is a theocracy. It's Lucifer will be the deity. Also some being called Maitreya. The Coming of the Cosmic Christ. All these books, we'll look at that. We're going to review 100 books for my series 101 on my Freemasonry and Satanism series. It ought to be an interesting discussion. And again, in the United States, they've got the Democrats against the Republicans, and the Republicans against the Democrats, the liberals against the conservatives against the liberals. And as far as I'm concerned, it's all propaganda and deception, divide and conquer. 911 causing something to happen so they could invade the Middle East, the Hegelian dialectic. This is all planned stuff we have to deal with. And given these two choices for president, insane number one or insane number two is just crazy. Unfortunately, liberal progressive Democrats have virtually no concept of reality. This ignorance is a poison within American society. You see what I'm saying? I've lost a lot of friendship with Republican friends of mine because I didn't like their far-right hatred of Democratic rhetoric. And I lost a lot of my friends, because I didn't choose friends by political party, on the far Democratic left, because they were so extreme and they were vicious in their hatred towards anybody who was Republican. So you got these two extremes, divide and conquer, being played out by the Illuminati, Zionist, Vatican. I say the Vatican because Vatican and London and Washington, D.C. are all three sovereign territories, and those three are united. So I believe the Zionists and the Jesuits and this new Pope we have, Francis, is a huge danger to all of us. And they're having an event right now in Jerusalem, I believe, for the whole month of September almost, where all the religious leaders of the world have gathered. Look this up. And they are going to consecrate something. Now think what consecrate means. Like some person can be consecrated to be a saint. Or maybe even a state of Israel will be consecrated. Maybe they'll announce that we're all going to have one religion and Lucifer will be the deity. It's so weird and surreal right now, like the Twilight Zone. A lot of people are wondering at what moment will something happen like 911 on the TV, whatever event they do, and the whole martial law, nuclear war, plague, Zeta virus, shut down all the food supply, FEMA camps, hollow point bullets, guillotines the government's purchased, and other legislation that was passed, when the big event will happen. A lot of people are just wondering, and a lot of people tell me, you know, Rick, this has been going on for years. They've been saying something's going to happen. And it hasn't happened yet. And in the Protocols of Zion, right here, you can go online and print this out free, by the way. The manual for the Zionist people to take over the world, they said they would run this program for years and wear people out. And that other book I went over, I said this guy's name wrong once and I apologize. But Robert H. Williams, you can go online, I got this free and printed this book out. The Ultimate World Order, Robert Williams, who was involved in national security for the government before he started his own firm and magazine. But anyways, he found a book, or somebody did, in a Texas library. Show you the picture. Called The Jewish Utopia. And it's just a nasty read about what they think about non-Jews. Think we're cattle, animals. So back to this little propaganda thing about the Iranians. So they're pumping up the war drums, I believe. And they couldn't do that until they took down Syria, which they've been relentlessly doing for several years. I feel so sad. And then all the displaced people all over the Middle East, as we all know, are being shipped into Europe and America. These people with this Islamic religion, and they're threatening some kind of jihad against us. So the media would have us all believe. And why are they shipping them here? Why are they displacing them there and bombing all their buildings? Go on Yahoo image site and just put in Middle East bomb the buildings. The pictures are horrific. I've shown them in previous videos. And there is a link to tell you what town and city. There was even one where the Israeli soldier said, yeah, we just bomb them and shoot them for fun, the Arabs. For fun. They call us the Great Satan as a diversion so they can justify raping political prisoners, male and female, and making dissidents disappear. All this posturing in the USA, preparing for something. I guess dissidents and people who don't go along with the New World Order and probably won't agree to have their guns taken away or accept the microchip and swear allegiance to this United Nations New World Order satanic deity will be probably shot, rounded up, put in FEMA camps, and disappeared. So one guy says here, Albert, that's no way to talk about our politicians. David says, I think any way is a good way to speak of our well-paid, thieving, lowlife, scum of the earth, carn artist politicians. And this other guy, Dad, says, don't sugarcoat it, man. Right here on the bottom of this page. So my point by reading this stuff is it really seems people to have missed the point. They actually think it's a battle between Hillary and Trump, the Republicans and the Democrats. And they believe probably 9/11 was done with people with box cutters. And all of those countries and murdered Arabs was probably justified. As some people tell me when I say this killing is crazy, they go, Rick, what are you worried about? They've been killing people forever. It's no deal. Or somebody would say, how does it personally affect you, Rick? Why do you care? Alright, one more comment or two, and then I'll play the video I posted 2 years ago. The Obama regime are collaborators and sympathizers. And, you know, the people talk about Obama as if he's actually some guy in control and a thinker. He's a puppet! Bush wasn't in control, Jr., and a thinker. He was a puppet. Clinton, you think he was in control? All these people are dastardly dudes or dudettes, female, and they agree to work with these Zionist, New Age, New World Order culprits, thugs, temples, lodges, Mystery School of Babylon, as William Cooper would say. This book here, like I said, it's going to be kind of cool doing my next video 101 because I'm going to have all these. It took me like half a day to go through all my bookcases to find the exact books. But this was a good book to get. William Cooper, Beware a Pale Horse. Behold a Pale Horse. He's got a lot of videos on YouTube. Mystery School of Babylon. If you want to know what the New Age religion's all about, involving Egyptian hieroglyphics and ancient documents and all that stuff, go watch some of his materials. Awesome. Alright, so Obama's regime are collaborators and sympathizers. During World War II, many in Europe would cooperate with the Nazis, believing cooperation would garner favor and relative peace would be achieved. They were wrong, and so is Obama. So we've gone over there, the occult and the Third Reich. There's more to World War II than meets the eye. World War I was because Germany was prospering. And the United States favored Germany. And Germany was giving welcome arms to the Jewish people fleeing Russia. And hence, I believe that's one of the reasons why Germany's industrial state was growing. And England, London, Britain was declining. The empire where the sun never sets was declining. So they had to have the war to suppress and put down Germany. But it was the homeland of a lot of rescued, homeless Jewish people fleeing from Russia. And they were prospering. They loved Germany. They had thought that they had found their utopia, their Garden of Eden in Germany. So when the people in New York, the Zionist Jewish folks and banksters and the other ones around the world, came up with a scheme to turn World War I around so that Britain could win the war, the deal was made, the Balfour Agreement, that if they did this, brought America into the war, and plenty of money, that Britain could, instead of losing the war, could win the war. And then after that war, they had the Versailles hearings, trials, treaty, Versailles. And it came out about the betrayal of the German people in Germany, so they lost World War I. But Britain had promised to annex the Palestinians' land so that the Rothschild, bankster, Zionist, Illuminati, Mystery School of Babylon, Freemasonic leaders, Rosicrucian, and all these other witchcraft, Kabbalah-type occult organizations could start a country called Israel with the six-pointed star and the blue line on the flag on the top and the blue line above, under the star, which means apparently from the Euphrates to the Nile, which is about a third the size of the United States, and they have nuclear missiles. It's too much information here, isn't it? And it has something called the Samson option, and if the world tries to stop them, remember the book we went over, the Beware of the Rainbow, this New Age philosophy, which is basically old age, stuff written about in the Bible, prophesized. And I guess Satan, when he takes control, this interdimensional being in a non-physical reality, the non-visible reality, the spiritual realm, when these demonic people actually take control by deceiving and cheating and beguiling we the people of the world, the whole thing will be quite a horrible event. And apparently, according to the Bible, the event will be cut short, save there not be any humans left alive, period. That's how bad it's supposed to be. So I guess this thing here, setting up Iran to be the next country to be attacked, appears, if you're paying attention to the news, in Donald Trump's rhetoric and his speeches, I'd say Iran has to see the bullet coming, or the missiles coming, or whatever. So will that prompt them to make a first strike, or Russia to make a strike, or some big feud between China and America? And apparently Obama and the leader of the Philippines just had a big spat publicly. Obama canceled his trip to go see the president of the Philippines. So, one more thing. This guy says, Albert, dumb ass, I don't give a flying if it was their money. It should have been kept and used to give to the people they kidnapped in 1979 and help families hurt by the IEDs in Iraq. So we had 911. Apparently some Saudi Arabian people were supposed to be on those planes. So instead of going after Saudi Arabia, we went after Iraq, which had nothing to do with 911. And no weapons of mass destruction were found. And Iraq and Afghanistan have tons of valuable resources. So it seems to me like a huge depopulation effort in those territories. This guy, Clyde, says, you are living in an alternate reality. So much about the money and the propaganda going on, demonizing Iran, which I've said for the last couple years they would do after they finally took down Syria, which was really a much bigger obstacle than they thought. Remember, General Wesley Clark said while he was walking down the hall in the Pentagon, one of the aides pulled him aside and said they were going to take down 7 countries. So this is all part of the New Age, the New World Order, and the Rainbow Agenda coming out of the United Nations, Agenda 21, biodiversity, sustainability, terrorism, Zika viruses manufactured by genetically modified engineering in laboratories, and all the other scares and Planet X and earthquakes and global warming, global cooling. And then they're painting Christians as haters for not agreeing with the new perverted, decadent agenda. And I'm not anti-gay. I think a lot of gay people probably are not going to be happy with this program coming out of the United Nations. I'm not anti-Jewish. A lot of Jewish people are fighting and trying to warn everybody like I am. Henry McCall, PhD, who wrote the book Illuminati, the Cult That Hijacked the World. Rabbi Marvin Antleman, the leader of the Jewish U.S. Congress in the United States, to eliminate the Opate, Volume 1, Volume 2. And the Opate means you believe in God, because they know prayer works. So the demonic spiritual beings don't want you talking to God. Well, hello. It's time for part 2 of The Hidden Danger of the Rainbow. And the more I look into this, the more crazier it gets. I'm Rick Miracle, and I'm making a bunch of videos called Freemasonry and Satanism. 50 videos to show their connection in all the books that I have read, that the world indeed is under threat of a conspiracy. And I'm narrowing it down. The more I read, the more I do this, the clearer the focus gets. And this book is key. So why don't I just continue reading some more and let you make up your own mind. So I came across one page that kind of blew me away. It's at page 68. So what I thought I would do is just read from it and then jump around. The New Age movement's deep and abiding hatred for Jews, Catholics, Protestant fundamentalists, and Orthodox Muslims in particular might explain why the Middle East is under attack. And today, August 9th, 2014, in the news, apparently today, Obama authorized the continued bombing of Iraq again, killing more Arabs. I don't think they really are worried whether they're Christian Arabs or atheist Arabs or Muslim Arabs. And I'm sure some Arabs are Buddhists and some are Hindu, but they are seemingly trying to eliminate the population from the Middle East that's not Jewish. So it might be that Israel plans on having a huge United States of Israel. I don't know. Anyways, the New Age movement, deep and abiding hatred for Jews, Catholics, Protestant fundamentalists, and Orthodox Muslims in particular, and all Christians in general, has been reaffirmed in the numerous David Spangler writings and tapes, as well as those of other current New Age leaders. And remember, the New Age symbol is the rainbow. We'll get to that in a little while. Further, the movement's theology contains a strong belief in an inner government of our planet by a hierarchy of spirits or alleged masters of wisdom. Spirits. I guess that would be ghosts. I suspect they would be demons. Okay, one has only to read The Spear of Destiny by Trevor Ravenscroft, The Occult of the Third Right by Jean Michael Engelbert, Hitler, The Occult Messiah by Gerald Suster, and Gods and Beast, The Nazi and the Occult by Dusty Skylar, to quickly come to the horrible realization that the basic doctrines of the New Age movements were all the teachings that formed the ethos of Nazism. I'll teach you that in school. The dangers to Jews, Christians, and even Orthodox Muslims from this New Age movement should not be underestimated. The movement is working quickly and efficiently to execute its scheme to take control of the world for Maitreya, not so subtly calling it the plan. So I guess it's not a conspiracy. If Constance is right here, there is a plan, and we can all see the plan in motion if we look around.
and I'll get to that in a few minutes. Much of the leadership behind this initiative has already taken public stands in favor of Maitreya the Christ. They have made flat statements in writing that they plan to outlaw the present religious practices and symbols of Orthodox Jews and Christians. So with that, let me clarify the Jewish issue. With Rabbi Marvin Entelman, or PhD Canadian citizen Jewish author Henry Mackal, who wrote the book Illuminati, the Cult That Hijacked the World, and Rabbi Entelman wrote To Eliminate the Opate. And what the opate is, it's like a drug. It's an addiction that keeps people in a trance. Similarly, believing in God and the Ten Commandments and going to church is a sort of a belief, which could be a drug, which keeps people under the Ten Commandments in a moral, social frame of mind. In other words, we're all not decadent and perverted, but to the New Agers, that's a problem. They don't want decency, morality, Ten Commandments. They don't like the seventh commandment, thou shalt not be adulterous, commit adultery. The Illuminati and the powers that be, the banksters and all that, I'm surely do not like, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not bear false witness. So the easy dividing line, like this video right here, is one side here and one side here. The dividing line, funny, I'm on the side of the Ten Commandments, and a lot of people with the New Age are over here in this window. And they're anti-Ten Commandments. And we'll get to that. So getting back to what I was just thinking, I get rambling on. Israel now, in my opinion, is under the control of the Zionist Jewish folks. Not to be confused with the Orthodox, the real God-believing Jewish folks. Many years ago, there was a break in the Jewish community, and a lot of them didn't like the 121 rules for living, whatever all the rules are for Jewish folks, or the Ten Commandments, and they wanted to do what they wanted to do. Anything goes. Like Aleister Crowley said, do as thou wilt, and he was, of course, the wickedest man, they say, alive, and a Satanist, and bragged about killing children and other atrocities and very evil things. So my point is, not all Jews are bad. There are still the good Jews. And if you look on Zionist images, those two words, on the internet, just search Zionist images, you'll come up with a Yahoo image site, and you'll see all the Orthodox, the good Jews, with protest banners and books and all kinds of stuff. They are fighting the Reformed Jewish people, the ones who turned away from God and went towards Lucifer's direction, do as thou wilt. Those are your Zionist folks, which I believe are ruling in Israel right now. And in Revelation in the Bible, it says, those who call themselves Jews but are not. So, you know, the more you look into this, you do see there are good and evil. And in everything we read here in all these other books, they talk about good and evil. And everybody has a choice. But the people who are promoting the New Age say that there is no such thing as good and evil, as everybody can do whatever they want, and that's okay. That's what they would like everybody to believe. And they even infiltrate your children's cartoons and are trying to teach that to kids these days in schools, in public schools, in grade school, in high school, in college, in the news media. You can't read the newspaper without seeing the propaganda if you pay attention. Better read this book. Keep going on. The movement has threatened violence and even extermination of Jews, Christians, and Muslims, failing to cooperate with Maitreya and the New World Religion. The threat is contained in several places in the Alice Bailey writings and reiterated in David Spangler's writings, which state that those of us who refuse to accept the Christ will be sent to another dimension other than the physical incarnation, out of the physical embodiment, to another level of vibration where we will be happier. So those of us who refuse to accept the Christ, I guess the one with the New Age, I suspect that would be Lucifer, the devil. The movement is profoundly anti-Semitic all the way through to its esoteric core. Many lesser level initiates into the movement are unaware of the situation. Just like I said about Jewish people, there are good Jewish people and there are bad Jewish people. And there are a lot of people, many lesser level initiates in the movement are unaware of the situation. Well, that's why I make these videos, so we can all become aware of the situation, or as they call it here, the plan. The movement's theoreticians, I can't say that word, including Spangler, also speak freely of the need to maintain Aryan purity. I think Hitler was into Aryan purity, which was Hitler's justification for exterminating the Jews. And I disagree with that to some degree, because I know that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and the Illuminati had their hand in World War II. And I believe the Jews who were killed were the good Jews, and they were killed by the bad Jews, the ones over here. Splitting the screen in the middle, good and bad. And they had to get rid of them because these good Jews were fighting the Reform Jews and were against Zionism, which again, if you go on the internet and look up Zionism and images, and you see the Yahoo image site, you will see all the pictures, and they speak thousands of words just by looking at the images. So not all Jews are in on this Zionism program. And there's many Christians in on it, Muslims, a lot of people who really say that they're one religion or another, but basically they're greed, money, perverted sex, power. They've sold their soul to the devil 10 times over. Despite their current talk of need for religious freedom from the persecutions of the moral majority, the movement advocates just the opposite. Its views are reiterated frequently by prominent New Age spokesmen such as Gregory Bateson, David Spangler, Foster Bailey. Bateson and Bailey are now both deceased. That religious freedom and the separation between church and state must end in the New Age. So in the New Age, they want to end the separation between church and state. It's because Lucifer is going to be in charge. Anyways, that's what it says. Buckminster Fuller has also incorporated such teachings into his design science proposals for the New Age. The movement has campaigned long and arduously for disarmament. This is considered a key step for the implementation of their hoped-for New World Order. The atomic bomb ended the resistance of the powers of evil because its potency was predominantly etheric. So I suspect when they explode nuclear bombs, even the ghosts and spirits in the ether can be affected. The atomic bomb emerged from the first ray ashram, will to good Shambhala force violence energies, working in conjunction with the fifth ray group, scientific workers. From the long-range point of view, its intent was and is purely beneficial. So they're saying the nuclear bombs are purely beneficial. As a means in the hands of the United Nations, United Nations is behind the gay marriage, drag queen, transvestite, and adultery taught to children on TV, the New Age. So as a means in the hands of the United Nations, giving them the nuclear bombs, to enforce the outer forms of peace and thus give time for teaching on peace and on the growth of goodwill to take effect. The atomic bomb does not belong to the three nations who perfected it or who own the secrets at present. The United States of America, Great Britain, and Canada. It says here the nuclear bombs belong to the United Nations for use. or let us rather hope simply for threat-induced, when aggressive action on the part of any nation rears its ugly head. So anybody who doesn't want to cooperate and be controlled by Lucifer will and rebels will be called rearing its ugly head. So rearing your ugly head to promote morality, decency. That's going to be evil. What does they say about the end times? Up will be down, down will be up. Good will be bad, bad will be good. It does not essentially matter whether that aggression is the gesture of any particular nation or group of nations, or whether it is generated by particular groups of any powerful religious organization, such as the Church of Rome, who are as yet unable to leave politics alone and attend to the business for which all religions are responsible, leading human beings closer to God, the God of love. All right, so thought I'd just throw a little bit of that in there. And I have some pictures. That should be interesting. So these pictures here, I went online and I just wanted to check up on New Age propaganda and New Age movie stars and the things that they're doing. And here's Kate Perry. We all recognize the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Horus, who is the son of Isis, I-S-I-S, who they now have the threat to the United States and the Middle East, a group called ISIS, who is the wife of Osiris, the father of Horus. Anyways, Horus's symbol is the all-seeing eye, which is on your dollar bill. It's a pagan religion, and there's Kate Perry. She did a recent Grammy Awards thing, and a lot of people are talking about the satanic nature of the show. The cross on her chest. The looks like devil heads in the background. There's a dance pole that she's dancing on. And we should be reminded that Lady Gaga did the Olympic opening satanic rituals. I believe she was involved in one of the Super Bowl halftimes or satanic ritual. Beyonce was. You can look it up on the internet. The halftime Super Bowl satanic rituals. Beyonce, Madonna did a Super Bowl halftime show with the satanic rituals. So they're doing this everywhere. Here's Katie doing the one eye thing. So we all know that the New Age symbol, one of the symbols, is the rainbow. I went on New Age symbols, image, those 4 words, and then I found the Yahoo image website and selected some image. You can go there and look up. You can look up gay pride symbols, gay pride rainbow images, just any combination, and you'll find all these. Here's one interesting. We noticed the dolphin, and it looks like the 5 stars on the bottom there could be the Pleiades system. And the wasn't it the Syrians from the star system, Syrians, who were supposed to be aquatic creatures? Is this the gay pride flag or the New Age flag, or both? We're going to find out. They're one and the same. This is a horse at the Denver airport with the glowing red eye. And they say there's a lot of occultic paintings at the Denver airport and statues. That horse is going to come up here in the near future. The rainbow, masters of the universe. So these spiritual beings are called masters and are giving everybody the psychic communication, telling people of the world. I'm not sure, but I think this is at the Denver airport. Looks like a demon sitting in a suitcase. Apparently the Denver airport is where all the hierarchy are going to flee to when they do have the apocalypse, which could be nuclear bombs or the Black Plague, or I don't know, whatever they're going to do. Seemingly, we hope they don't do. Here's a plaque at the Denver airport. See the Masonic symbols? It's a time capsule. Beneath this stone contains messages and memorabilia of the people of Colorado that's going to be opened in 2094. The New World Airport Commission, the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge F&A of Colorado jurisdiction, the most worshipful Grand Lodge A&R AM of Colorado. So you got Masonic involved. Remember my series is Freemasonry and Satanism. Here's something interesting that, interesting is hardly the word for it, but this guy won the Eurovision contest, and you can see he has a face similar to Jesus. It's supposed to be that way, and he's wearing a dress. Conchita Wurst is his stage name, and I hate to say this, but the first word means P-U-S-Y, and Wurst, last name, means sausage. So I don't know how sicker. His name's written right there, you can see it. And look at the symbol, the Eurovision symbol, with the cross sideways on the top. So Conchita Wurst, first word P-U-S-Y, second word sausage. If anybody doesn't think this is just sick and perverted and he's got Jesus' face in a dress, I don't know what to say. It's obvious he was meant to win. It was, and he sang the song, The Rise of the Phoenix, which has the words in it, "You Can't Stop Us." Katy Perry, remember I talked about the horse? In her satanic ritual show, she's wearing the crown, holding the torch with the light. Isn't that what Lucifer does, the light bearer? Remember I said the Denver airport, the horse? Katy Perry is on the horse. The dark horse, carrying the torch with the crown. This is all related to Lucifer. They're telling people. And the moon symbols are big. And look at the horns on the people in the background. It's all occultic. That means secrets. And they believe in Mother Earth is alive. And they say all the Christians and all those people have to die. And the sun's rays, which is the god Osiris, is represented by the sun god of the pagans. Katy Perry with that cross thing on her chest. Look at the rays above her head. Look at the rays of Mother Earth here. You can see the sun rays on that picture. The rays on her head. And Conchita Wurst again. A huge picture. Face dressed up like Jesus, wearing a silky dress. First name's P-U-S-Y, his stage name. Last name Sausage. This is representation. This is like the American Idol contest we have in the United States. They have Eurovision, and he won it, singing The Rise of the Phoenix. Obviously, the whole thing was a setup, a promotion of the New Age. Here's a t-shirt. The rainbow represents the homosexual agenda, as you can see. And it says, spend time with family, be treated equality, and buy milk. That's the homosexual agenda, he says. Saw this at the Gay Agenda Image website. Katy Perry's show. Look at the lighting and all that. It's all satanic ritual. Just like the Bohemian Grove, and Alex Jones, looked that up, where our politicians were photographed at the Bohemian Grove, and they had a big fire in the background, and they throw a baby into the fire. And I guess if you go out to the Bohemian Grove in California, to the local stores that sell memorabilia. They have little pamphlets, and they talk about throwing a little baby into the fire. They say it's an effigy, it's not a real baby. First of all, is that true? And second of all, does it matter? You shouldn't be throwing babies into fires, real or not. Gay pride, rainbow. I just went on the image site on the internet. Katy Perry. Look at the thing around her neck. If that's not occultic, Egyptian. Oh, and here, I'll just cover the guy's face up so he's not in there. Reading the rainbow, there's a guy there, so they're going after children. I guess you can really show your gay pride by painting your house like the rainbow. Hitlerism was into a lot of the similarities of the New Age, or is what Hitler was trying to do. So that would be part of the New Age. And Katy Perry, the satanic fire, all that stuff. The pole. The Denver airport. The horse of the apocalypse. Is that true? Katy Perry, somebody made this up. Witchcraft, Illuminati, see the star. Remember I said that star with the circle looks the same as the Obama giving Oprah and Clinton the Medal of Freedom? It says Dark Horse, Witchcraft, Illuminati. That's what it says. The gay agenda, equality. And it's funny, lately I've noticed that whenever they talk about it, they've been adding drag queens, transvestites, bisexual. What that has to do with the gay agenda, I don't know. And, of course, adultery. So, anything goes. What are they going to add? Bestiality next, where they have sex with animals? Or pedophilia? How far will they go? How far have they come? Just ask them. The rainbow, the New Age, Earth. The marketing is insane everywhere. Smile if you're gay. So they're making it cool to be gay. And the rainbow image on there, as you can see. They even got the church involved. Marrying gay men. Katy Perry, you really can't see it on a pyramid. Dawning of the New Age, pyramid power. Dawning of the New Age, pyramid power. And the pyramid's a down pyramid. I think that's the sign of the female. Here's another image that was on the gay site. Gay skate night. Moon night, rollaway skating rink in Glendale. So I guess if you're not gay, you're not invited. Denver airport. This ought to be a little spooky. Remember they had the Masonic plaque there. And they got the guy with the machine gun and the sword. And the little girl in a coffin. It looks like he's plucking that dove with the sword. Gay parade in a big city. Pride parade. They're all over the world. Another picture of the horse with the eye, the apocalypse. Katy Perry with the moon, symbolic, occultic. The girl at the Denver airport in the coffin. I'm asking, is this stuff normal? Is this stuff even right? Has the human race gone insane? They say that 85% of the people are mind controlled and have gone over the deep end, who believe all this stuff. The kid in the coffin. And 15% of us are still free from the mind control. And I suspect that's why the CIA, NSA, and all the other alphabet secret security forces have to monitor our cell phones, our computer usage. They've identified who we are. And if they do pull off the apocalypse, their revolution, and the gay people and the New Agers and all that rule the world, like they said, the Christians and other good people will be shipped off to a planet where they'll be happy. Anyways, the gay website. You got some guys here, men in a tub together having a party. Love, sex, politics, religion, and killer abs. More at the gay site website. And they're after children. Everybody should know that. This little kid, my first tattoo. How crazy is it going to be? Here's one. It's a trick. Guess if you cut your wrist, you're going to bleed rainbow. Elton John, the propaganda, the colors, the skulls in the background. I think this is a North Carolina airport. Look at this statue. She's holding the crown. Who comes up with these weird things? They are using children. Here's Connie Talbert, official. Here's her rainbow, this little girl. So they market to kids. Here's some famous people doing the devil sign. Do you recognize them? Elton John, Rainbow Rock. Here's one here where they have the occultic star on a little girl that I guess has been killed, strangled, and in bondage. And it's a recreation of information of an autopsy report and police sources. How sick is that? Here's one of a little girl and the boy. Look at his pants with patches. Look at her hand with her hand was chopped off. I'll cover up this guy's face. He doesn't want to be. Look how crazy these people dress. I remember I was getting a haircut once, and I asked the guy, I like a normal haircut. And if you've seen my videos, I like to let my hair grow out sometimes. And he goes, there is no such thing as a normal haircut. He got angry. Said he was gay. I was a little scared, thinking he would mess up my hair, so I left. But he exploded. I don't know if they kept him there at the job. But he said there's no such thing as normal anymore. Gay pride. This is what they're teaching the kids. They're even teaching the children, as you just seen. Here's Hillary Duff. All this, going after the kids. Mind control. And Cochita Worst, if I'm saying his name right. Dressed like Jesus, dresses like a girl. Look at his fingernails. First name P-U-S-Y. Last name Sausage. Drag queen at a gay pride festival. What does drag queens have to do with gay pride? Something's missing me. Cochita. At the Eurovision, like the American Idol. The logo strikes me as a little weird. The Eurovision, like our American Idol. I just looked up Eurovision in images, and I found Cochita Worst. If that's not sick, I don't know what sick is. Winning, it was all planned. What is this, California Gay Pride? Painting in the sand. The Denver Airport. Horse of the Apocalypse. Who knows? All those crazy murals there that you go online, look at Denver Airport murals. You will be surprised. Children in coffins, the guy with the sword, and Katy Perry. These images didn't come out too clear. Satanic rituals at the Grammys. And Cochita again. Look at that. Jesus face, women body, winning the trophy. The Rainbow President, Obama says his 2 priorities during his second term at his inauguration speech said, Gay marriage and removing the guns from the people are his first priority. They have to disarm the people because the gay people, I guess, have a really strong fist, and they're going to come down hard like revolutions do, and they're going to round up or kill all the Christians, like it says in the book here, by these people. You can't really see it, but that's one of the murals at the Denver airport. And then Monster Energy Drink has the rainbow logo. So if you cater to these people, the gay rainbow thing, your sales might increase. So anyways, that's just a little bit of that. And I think what I'm going to do next is provide a little more evidence of craziness. There's this document I found. So that's a huge tree. Naturalism. It says Lucifer and Satan on the bottom. You can pause this and look at it. You can find it online. And then on the bottom where it says humanism, atheism, evolution, it has New Atlantis, Mother Earth, Gaia, deep ecology, green politics, all the things that they're promoting. Green, going green. A good goddess movement, pantheism, shamanism, monism, illuminativism, spiritualism, harmony with nature, nature's spirits. All those are what it says on the bottom there. And then it says Lucifer and Satan. And moving up on the top of the tree, planetary initiation. Evolution toward a new value system on behalf of the spirits of the earth. A global elite. A global ethic. Cooperation, collaboration, unification. Lucas Trust. NGWS. World Goodwill. Triangles. Lucas Trust, I believe, is handling the maintenance and care of the meditation room in the United Nations. And it's an occult room with satanic or occultic magic, pagan symbolism. And Lucas Trust, if you look it up, L-U-C-I-S, on Wikipedia, was formerly Lucifer Trust, and probably to keep down some of the knowledge from the people from knowing what's really going on, they changed it to Lucas Trust. So smart cards, redistribute resources, moral relativism, humanistic, adolescent literature, rebellion, they've really gone. World order education, multicultural education, population control education, just endless here. And then there's a chart here, Christian answers for a new age. Ooh. And basically, man is created in God's image in Christianity, and in the New Age is basically good, inherently divine, and part of God. So you can be as perverted and decadent as you want, and you're inherently divine and part of God. And the concepts of God in the Christian, personal living God, sovereign ruler of the universe, only living true God, that's the Christianity point of view. And the New Age is an impersonal force, creative energy or principles, manifest as nature or various gods. And the earth for the Christians, created by God. And the earth for the New Age is sacred living organism, has consciousness, assisted by earth spirits. And here's something I thought that was really crazy. A lot of people have heard of Stephen Greer. This was on the, I got an email the other day. Serious disclosure. So I got this email August 3rd, and please post and circulate widely, he says. Stephen Greer, this is a serious disclosure, and special Joshua Tree contact training near capacity. So what did we just say here? special Joshua Tree contact training. Contact who training? I'm going to get to that. Both events, near capacity. Do not miss out on this rare opportunity. Sunday night. Alright, you ready for this? Join Dr. Greer for contact training experience under the stars, welcoming the ETs and universal peace. This is a post-conference workshop following the Contact in the Desert conference. You do not have to be part of the Contact in the Desert conference to participate. Dr. Greer will offer a Sanskrit puja for the group. Sanskrit puja, in my translation, is basically a meditative occultic prayer. We'll offer a Sanskrit puja for the group, lead the group in multiple guided meditations, and introduce the group to the philosophy and practice of the CE-5 contact protocols. So how you contact the aliens or the spirits in the space is you have to do a meditative or a occultic words called the Sanskrit puja, and he has developed protocols that are featured in the Sirius film. There's this SIRIUS film. There will be inspirational kirtan music to set the mood. This all sounds like New Age meditation, yoga. Last year, several hundred people participated, and it was an amazing experience. This is a rare opportunity to learn from him, as he almost never does one evening. He never does one evening events. Though these very successful contact protocols are something you can practice on your own with your friends. Feel the power and energy of meditating and reaching out to the cosmos in the spirit of universal peace. Fantastic. The tickets for the Sunday night large contact event will be available for sale online until 8:50 p.m. Sunday, August 10th. This is August 9th. So tomorrow, Dr. Greer is going to have a bunch of people in the desert doing a Sanskrit puja, trying to contact spirits, aliens, UFOs, in the sky. Thought that was a little bit out there. So, just a little bit more here. I'm going to just go back to the secret doctrine and just read a little bit here that I thought was kind of important. Okay. Remember, this is sort of like the Bible for the New Age occultists, for the Freemasons, for the Rosicrucians, for the Illuminati, for the Satanists, contacting spirits and all that, talking to the masters. Let's see what this says. The man in the moon, Osiris Sut, or Jehovah Satan, or Christ Judas, and other lunar twins, is often charged with bad contact. In the lunar phenomenon, the moon was one, as the moon was a twofold in sex and threefold in character, as mother, child, adult, male. Thus the child of the moon became the consort of his own mother. I guess the child had sex with his mother. It could not be helped if there was to be any reproduction. He was compelled to be his own father. And I'm just jumping around, you know, I highlight this. The Roman Church, without being any wise ashamed of the proof, portrays the Virgin Mary arrayed with the sun and the horned moon at her feet, holding the lunar infant in her arms. Remember, these New Agers do not like Christianity, so I would not expect anything nice to be said in this book about Christianity, or the good Jews, or the good Muslims, or whoever. In this way, it can be proved that our Christology is mummified mythology and legendary lore, which have been palmed off upon us in the Old Testament and the New as divine revelation uttered by the very voice of God. And lest we forget, Lucifer is the deceiver. So if the spirits are giving Mrs. Blavatsky this information, are they giving her the truth or deception? Let's read on. A charming allegory is found in the Zohar. That's one of the Jewish books. One which unveils better than anything ever did the true character of Jehovah in the primitive conception of the Hebrew Kabbalists. Remember, Madonna's into the Kabbalah. They all admit it. They do the satanic rituals. Okay, moving on. He answered, the letter, Yod, which equals 10, is the symbolic letter of Kether and the essence and germ of the holy name. They said to him, if thou wilt tell us the name of thy father, we will kiss the dust off thy feet. He replied, as to my father, he has his dwellings in the great sea and was a fish therein. Remember in the Sirius mystery book we went over, and the entities who apparently came from Sirius star system, the planet they came from was totally a water planet, and they were aquatic creatures. They came here in a ship accordingly as aquatic beings. The ship was full of water, and so they came here and they lived mostly in our seas, and supposedly, according to the Sirius mysteries, they were the ones who created or mixed genetics and made mankind. Like Vrishna and Dagon or Onus, which first destroyed the great sea, and he was great and mighty in the ancient days until he swallowed all the other fishes of the great sea. Had to stop there. Started to sprinkle, a little rain. So I want to just jump through the rest of this to finish this particular video. A little bit, like I said, from the Secret Doctrine. Helena Blavatsky, who went to India and learned how to communicate with the spirits, and came back to the world and was part of the startup of the New Age movement. In combination with the Illuminati, Zionists, banksters, people who have been ruling the world forever. Alright, El-Azhar listened and said to him, thou art the son of the holy flame. Thou art the son of Rab, Ham, Saba, the old, the fish in the Aramaic, or Clady. Thou art the son of the light of Thort. Then the author explains that the feminine Sepharith Benai is termed by the Kabbalists the Great Sea. Therefore, Benai, whose divine names are Jehovah, Yah, Elohim, is simply the Chaldean Tiamat, the female power, the Taliot of the Berosus, who presides over the chaos, and was made out later by Christian theology to be the serpent and the devil, presided over the chaos. Wasn't it George Bush who said repeatedly, out of chaos will come the New World Order? She, Jehovah, is the supernatural, he, or Eve. So they're saying Jehovah is Eve, the female, who got the apple by the devil. Thus, Yoha, then, or Jehovah, is identical with our chaos. So the Jehovah Witness who stopped by my house the other day, I'd hate to read that to him, is identical with our chaos, Father, Mother, Son, and on the material plane in the purely physical world, demon or Dios, at one and the same, the sun and the moon, good and evil, God and demon. Just letting you know what's in Helena Blavatsky's book that's mentioned in that Beware of the Rainbow by Constance Cumbey. Anyways, moving on. The worshippers of the Tiamat, the Jewish oracles, carved images and claimed that light of the principal stars, planets, permeating these through the angelic virtues of the regions of the stars and planets, conversed with them, teaching them many most useful things and arts. Alright, located in the sky called whatever, the tutelary gods, those who traced out there are called the diviners. In such sentences, however, in the Neo-Bathan agriculture that have been frightened the men of science and made them proclaim the work either a fairy tale unworthy of the notice of the academia. At the same time as shown, zealous Roman Catholics and Protestants tore at it metaphorically to pieces, the former because it described the worship of demons, and later because it is ungodly, and Helena says they are wrong once more. Solar and lunar worship, as well as that of the stars and elements, are traced and figure in the Christian theology. Defended by Papists, they are stoutly denied by the Protestants, only at their own risk and peril. Two instances may be given. Animus Marcellius teaches that ancient divination were always accomplished with the help of the spirits of the elements. By the 12 stones called the mysteries of the elements, and also in Solomon's temple. Remember, the Freemasons are trying to be part of rebuilding King Solomon's temple in Egypt. And as pointed out by the various writers in several old Italian churches, even at Notre Dame in Paris, where they can be seen to this day, no symbol, the sun included, was more complex in its manifold meanings than the lunar symbol, the moon. The sex was, of course, dual. That's why maybe they have a lot of the gay marriage and transvestites and drag queen and all that stuff, bisexuality. The sex was, of course, dual, with some of it was male, the Hindu, King Soma, and other nations it was female, the beautiful goddess, Diana, Luna, Lucia. So the gods were in Taurus, human victims were sacrificed to Artemis, the form of the lunar goddess. Well, that's enough for this video. We've got one more to do on Beware of the Rainbow. And thank you for watching. Hope you find it interesting. I think the biggest point I'm trying to make here is there is something going on. Then the United Nations is behind it, the banksters, the powerful leaders of the world trying to make the New World Order. And it seems like the dividing line is pretty clear. They want to get rid of the Christian, good Jewish, Muslim, anybody who believes in God and doing right, who's against adultery and against murder and robbery. And they want to bring the world chaos and anarchy and live the world in a more primitive state. So apparently that's the choice, so far as I can see. So thank you for watching my videos, and I'll try to finish up the third part of Beware of the Rainbow and make it a little clearer what Constance Cumbey is saying.